And we are back again on Out and About Radio, everybody. Paul Carley, Randy Stevens, and Whitney Hogan. We are brought to you by Watermark Media. Thanks for joining us on the Saturday afternoon. Guys, like I tell you, it was a joyous week in my life. You know, I follow my stories every day.
You found a date?
No date.
Sorry.
Maybe that's why, because I'm following my stories, all my children and one life to live too much. You know,
You're the only person I know that still calls it the stories. That's what my grandmother called them.
Well, I like that.
My mom never called it that.
Well, as you know, they were canceled. And after 40 years, I was devastated because I've been watching them for 20 years. But now comes word that All My Children, One Life to Live have been saved.
Hallelujah.
Woo-hoo! And who better to talk about that and much more? It's our favorite lesbian. Well, she's not a lesbian in real life, I don't think. But she plays lesbian Bianca Montgomery on All My Children. Her name is Christina Bennett Lind. Christina.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
Good. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I have to apologize. I have a little bit of a summer cold, which is the worst kind of cold.
Okay.
No problem.
So you obviously heard the news this week about All My Children continuing. What's your reaction?
I did. You know, actually, it's confusion because we kind of hear it. We're the last to hear it for the most part. So I know as much as you do about it, but it's very exciting. It's mostly exciting for the fans who have been so vocal about their opposition to being canceled, and I think it's exciting. It's a victory for a mass group of people trying to get their word out, and they're actually heard. So I think that's the most exciting thing.
So you don't really know the details, if it's 5 days a week, you're going back to New York?
I can't help you at all. I don't know anything. I imagine my fans will send me tweets about it,
Christina,
and that's how I'll learn. That's how I learn most things.
You have to be really careful because he's going to press you for as much info as he can get out of you because he is so freaking excited. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm really excited, too. I think, all I know is that we'll have to sort of renegotiate everything. It's kind of exciting because it's like going into new territory.
Right.
It's like a little groundbreaking what they're trying to do. So hopefully I'll know more and then I'll come back on.
Right. Now, you took over the role of Bianca from a very popular actress, and you've really made it your own. But the one thing that bothers me, you haven't got any action, Christina.
You're telling me. I've been waiting for it.
When is that girl-on-girl action happening?
Very soon, actually. I think there's already been a preview a little bit.
Oh. Uh-oh, did we lose you?
Hello, you there? Oh,
Uh-oh.
maybe we lost her. Maybe she just didn't like my question there.
Well, considered you outed her, she wasn't even, she's still in.
No, she's not a lesbian in real life.
Okay.
But anyway, we will.
Well, she plays one on TV. Yes. Okay.
She does play one on TV, but actually she is in a relationship with a character on there, and we have her back. Sorry about that, Christina.
Yeah, hi.
That's
Hi.
I thought you got
Sorry.
mad at me asking about that girl-on-girl action question.
Oh, no, it was the lack of girl-on-girl action that dropped the call. So it just exploded. It was just pure frustration. It'll happen soon. Actually, in the beginning, I used to walk around sets, pointing out the girls on the show that I would like to have some challenging action with. So I finally got my wish, at least a little bit. We'll see what happens.
But that's awesome. I wish we could all do that in real life.
I know. I know. It's easy when you're the only lesbian in town,
Hey, what was that first meeting for you like with Susan Lucci?
Actually, it was amazing. She's sort of she's such a professional. She had an instant chemistry with me, and that's a testament to her, I think, as a person and as an actor. And she was a mom. Actually, I remember the first time I saw her was when I was coming in for the test, for the audition, and she was, standing in the dressing room, and she was covered in dirt because it was a storyline where she was lost in the mountains. Mm-hmm. And I told her she looked fabulous, and she laughed. It was kind of the first time we had a moment. Little did I know she was covered from head to toe in dirt, but she was still wearing heels.
And you probably thought that was her real makeup. You're going, oh, that's nice.
I was like, yeah.
You look great in person.
Unfortunately, she did. She did look great. I wasn't lying. She can look good in that.
And what's your background, Christina? Because this is kind of the first time that we've become aware of you.
Yeah, I actually went to school for theater, for performance at Fordham University, and I was doing theater for about 4 years in New York, regionally and mostly in New York. I'm a part of a theater company there. And I did a couple little TV things, but this was really the first, definitely the first big thing, and it was my second soap opera job. So I kind of came out of nowhere.
Did you always?
That's why you hadn't heard of me.
Did you always want to be an actress? Because I know I was reading on your bio that you wanted to be an animator. You'd sit at the dinner table and you'd picture your family's faces like you were outlining them.
Oh.
Yeah. And actually, that's one of those few memories that my family has memories of and tells me about, and I actually remember doing that. I remember being sort of in my own little world. I wanted to be a visual artist for most of my childhood. My dad's a painter, and I sort of learned from him. And, actually, when it wasn't until I got into college where I really finally had to make a choice over what I wanted to study, really, and it ended up being theater. But for the most part, it all kind of started in middle school, and I just, was cast in a play, and I had a lot of dance background, so I just sort of enjoyed being on stage, and definitely stage was the first thing that I, fell in love with. But, movies were an early memory of sort of special occasions, going to see the movies when they had those little cartoons with, like, the popcorn dancing and stuff, and that's how I kind of fell in love with that part of it.
Christina, I have to tell you that not many people can make me cry on the air, but your big brown eyes when you well up, I do the same thing.
Oh, that's sweet. Actually, Alicia has told me that many times. She said her new trick is if she ever needs to cry, she just looks at me. Which I don't know is a good thing or a bad thing, actually.
No. That
handicap.
That is a good thing. Now, you've been a supporter of the gay and lesbian community. I assume that you are straight in real life.
I am, yeah.
Okay. How's the response been for you taking over that role from our community?
It's actually been really incredible. I was sort of, I was really excited about playing this role in the beginning. Right off the top, I didn't really have any apprehensions about playing a gay character, but I did wonder how the community would take me in because I'm not actually gay, and amazingly, I found that most of my gay friends and the people that I know who are watching the show and real supporters are just really open, welcoming, have been extremely accepting of me in a way that I was really not expecting, and have really taken me under their wing in that way, and for that I'm really eternally grateful, because I think for me, in order to feel comfortable sort of jumping into this and really wanting to do something exciting with it and groundbreaking with it, I wanted to do something for the community. Really, it's for those voices to try and speak out in the daytime audience for, the voices that I think need to be heard and are starting to be heard in this country, recently with the New York law that was passed. So I think it's kind of, I think it's, for me, it was really all about love. Everyone was very loving and kind. I've had so many gay fans right now, I think, who are behind me, which is actually, the most important thing for me.
Well, we definitely appreciate you being an ally. I mean, that's the main thing for us, is that to have somebody in such a position to, speak out. And I know that the community appreciates for sure people like you that do stand up and actually take on that role and are not afraid to do that.
Well, all my children has always had a warm place in the gay community, because I believe Agnes Nixon, it's probably been almost 20 years now, when she did introduce the first lesbian character. And from that point on, now you look at it, I think Days of Our Lives was probably the last one to finally have a gay character. It's on each one of them now, and that all started back that Agnes Nixon had the guts to go ahead and bring a character forth that was very controversial at the time.
Yeah, and that's a real testament to her, I think, because has always felt strongly, and I heard her speak last year at a little brunch before she got her award at the Daytime Emmys, that it was really important for her to bring up political and social issues in this mainstream genre. That was really always important to her, and I think she's done an incredible job of doing that and being really consistent with that up until the end.
Mm-hmm. Christina, also the role of Bianca, you weren't playing her, but was the first gay marriage on TV as well.
I know, and the first kiss.
I didn't know
and the
that.
first gay divorce.
Exactly.
Now you're divorced.
You watch that unfold. Actually, in the beginning, I thought, maybe they'll do something really exciting with that, like even kind of exposing that sort of nitty gritty of love is love and divorce is divorce kind of thing. But I think they had to sort of speed through it for reasons I don't know much about. But I was sort of hopeful to let's tackle that. That's definitely an issue that comes up when you start fighting for marriage. Unfortunately,
That's right.
Divorce is not too close behind. Hopefully not, but who knows?
And who says we don't contribute to the economy? Come on.
I know, seriously.
Yeah, legal fees alone.
Hey, Christina, before you go, where do you see your character maybe in a year from now? Where would you like Bianca to be?
In a year from now, fingers crossed for being on the web. My character from a year from now would be, I think, in love, for sure. She needs a little love. She's been waiting. Oh, my goodness. And I think, always her whole history and her current storylines, everything's about family. Family is very important to Bianca, and I think that's why people love her so much, and she's very honest, sort of wears her heart on her sleeve kind of girl. So for me, I think in a year, once she gets a little love, I'd like to see her, veer off the tracks a little bit. I think my favorite thing to play with her is her vulnerability, and when she sort of loses her conviction temporarily and has to sort of find faith in the world again. And I think that's what I would hope would be some next steps for her. I think as she's going through these phases of her life and divorced and falling in love again, that maybe the bottom can fall out a little bit so she can sort of find her truth again. Right. That's what I would hope for.
And next time you're doing a scene with the actress who plays Marissa, just kiss her. Just grab it. They'll probably cut it out, but
Yeah, see if it'll stick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you guys going to buy that? No. Well, I would say keep watching. We'll see. Maybe I do that. I'm not going to give anything away, but I keep watching.
I also read a preview, so I know what's coming up. I read my previews every day.
I'm so excited to have a fan of you, Paul.
Oh, Christina, thank you for being on our show. And here's to many, many happy years at All My Children and going online. And we will support you in your
absolutely.
career.
Thank you.
So much.
Good luck.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks, Christina. What a great guest. Everybody support All My Children as they continue their quest. My stories. Hey, gang, time for a quick break here on Out and About Radio, brought to you by Watermark Media. We will continue right after this.
Open, welcoming, and loving place to worship on Sunday mornings? Well, Joy Metropolitan Community